Good afternoon. It is Jen Norlin, and I wanted to hop on here and talk with you today about something that once I really started to open up to this idea, helped me shift and change my mindset, my thoughts, my beliefs, and I wanted to share it with you. So when I think of evolution being on a longer scale and revolution being more of a sudden change. I think of moving into a different place. It's an expansion from where I'm at to maybe closer to where I want to be, or maybe further away from where I want to be. And those different beliefs, opening up to things that maybe I didn't know before, and that can help me shift where I'm at in my life. So back to this idea of revolution, when we think of it on a large scale, like think of the industrial revolution, and we have things like the gasoline engine was invented, or light bulbs were invented. And, we have all of these inventions and creations, and they came from the believers, from those who trusted and had faith in something through their creativity that they could bring into this world that we didn't and hadn't yet experienced. And that's how our society has been built. Everything that we live every day in our homes, and we drive our cars, and we get on an airplane, and we end up all the way around the other side of the world. And that is the kind of creative thinking, the openness that has led to this revolution on a large scale over the last couple hundred years, and is also what helps us as humans evolve into the person we want to be. And that, from my experience, there's not an endpoint to that. I can evolve and become a very different person than I was before, and create a different life, and then pivot and do something different and decide I want to create something different. And it's about who I become in that process of my evolution. And so as humans and how we grow up, and the things that we learn, and the conditioning that we have, we put so many limits on ourselves. We put so many conditions on what we think is possible, what we think that we can create, what we think we can bring into our lives. Now, imagine if those who brought airplane travel and the gasoline engine and the light bulb into existence, imagine if they had those limiting beliefs, like, well, I've never experienced it before, and so, we're just gonna, I'm not even gonna pursue the thought. And I know so many people who do that in their own lives. They see it, and I did that. I was one of those people. This is the way it is. This is the path that I'm on. I created a career. I created my life the way that it was. And I thought that was what I was supposed to do. I thought that was where I was supposed to be. And it was when I started to open up to possibilities of other ways, of other ideas, of other ways of existing, of other thoughts and ideas, and the ability to open up to my own creativity, that I was really able to shift my mindset. We talk about fixed mindset versus growth mindset. And when I fix my mindset on what is being the only thing that's possible, my world gets really small. And there's so much more that I'm just blocking, that I'm just saying, okay, this is what I know. and I limit myself. And yet it's hard for us to see that we do that in so many areas, or can do that in so many areas of our lives. We can do it around money. We can do it around love. We can do it around, relationships and family and career. And like, there's all of these places where we can have that own limitation that we put on ourselves and our lives. And so when I opened up to there being a different way, to knowing that like I was on this track of build my career and stay there till hopefully maybe someday I can retire, and hopefully maybe someday be able to do the things that I want and travel and have the time freedom and work from my home office and, start at 2:00 in the afternoon if that's what I want to do, or get up and start at 5:00 in the morning if that's what I want. And when I finally opened up to there being a different way from that track that I was on, the track that I had, put myself on, that I believed was what I was supposed to do, what was expected of me, and eventually that I believed I had to be on to support my family, to raise my girls as a single mom. That was the path that I had chosen. And what I can see now, since I have expanded and opened up to different possibilities for my life, to leaving my corporate career a year and a half ago, to being able to work from home, work when I want, set my schedule, go to yoga in the middle of the day with my daughter. When I really opened up to there being different ways of doing things, that's when my life changed. That's when I started to step into the woman I am today, who can say yes to my daughter when she says, hey, you want to go to yoga at 9:15 tomorrow? Who can say, yes, I'm going to drive down to Denver and meet a friend for lunch, and not have to check in with the boss, not have to, do things the way that in a lot of our lives, the world requires of us. And I never thought that was possible. Like, I had spent my whole life and my money and my time and everything on this one path that I was on. And so, like, I think about, let me go back to my career. Nothing happened in my career, in the job that I did, in the work that I did as a chemical engineer. There was nothing that happened without an exchange of energy. And so, no chemical reaction, no movement of anything happened without this force of energy, this exchange of energy. And like, I could see that on the big scale in my career, on the big scale in, engineering and design, and from the standpoint of science. And it was when I started to apply those to the micro scale, to my own life. Like, energetically, we are energetic beings. We are energetic beings with all of these chemical reactions happening within our bodies. And when I started to understand that, and I started to honor and respect that I had a lot of control over that piece of my life, it really helped me open up and expand into, a different world, a different way, a different mindset, a different way of doing things. And so I just really, more than anything, if you're feeling like you're stuck, if you're feeling like I did, I was 20 plus years into my career, and I was like, this can't be all that there is. There has to be something else. And you don't have to go extreme like I did. I left my corporate career. It didn't make sense. There was no, financial net. But I knew it was time for me to leave. And I was willing to trust in myself and the things that I had learned about creating the world around me, that it made sense for me to take that leap. And so if you're feeling like you want to change, like you want to shift, like you want something different in your life, it does require you opening up to a different way of seeing things, of a different way of doing things, often a different way of thinking about things. And when you can step into that without all of these limitations of why you can't, or why it's not going to work, or why, whatever said excuse, then that's really how we get to change our lives. That's really how we get to step into the life, the person, the relationship, like whatever it is that we want in our lives. And so it's like, we're not taught that. We're not taught that. I would have never had this conversation with the people that I worked with or in my classes in engineering college. Like it was so foreign to me and so uncomfortable for me to step in and especially to start talking about this kind of stuff. And, the judgments of it being hippy dippy and it being this or that, or like even that I had. However, I do know what my experience has been. And I do know that when I really started to open up to this other side of understanding energy on the level of a human, and also on this journey that I have been on back to the core of who I am, the spirit and soul of who I am, like it all came together. It all started to make sense. So that's it. I just wanted to share that with you today. It's been something that has profoundly changed my life. It's really helped me to be able to step into something different, to be able to see that there's a different way for me. And it started by getting rid of and setting aside, working through, healing, like whatever it is I had to do with those limiting beliefs of what was possible for me in my life. So hope this has helped. Thank you for joining me, and we'll talk to you soon.